Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a video that I did recently. I did do a video on this already, but I'm going to make this one quicker. And the main reason I'm doing it over is because the prices changed for each test. Well, two of the tests, just a little. They didn't go up a whole lot, but I want to make sure I give you guys those updates and then just do um, a shorter version of this video because the last one I did, I think it was like 30 minutes, close to 30 minutes, something like that. So I'm going to try to keep this one as quick as possible. I'm trying to keep this within 10 minutes. But I get this question a lot in my Facebook group and on my channel. So if you guys are not in my Facebook group, it's called the Medical Assistant Lounge. This question is asked at least once every single day, if not multiple times a day. So I want to go ahead and address that here. And then at the end, I am going to answer some frequently asked questions around this as well. And I'm also going to give you just a quick study tip. Okay. Now, I do have a free study tip checklist that you can download in the description. You can just click on it, download it. It does add you to my email list. I just want to give you the heads up about that. But just a quick checklist you can download. You can even print it if you want to just make sure these are things that you're doing as you are studying and getting ready for your exam. Okay. All right, so let's first talk about the CMA, Certified Medical Assistant. Okay, so they are offered by the AAMA, and this is the biggest difference between each of the certification guys. They are given by different certifying bodies. Okay, this is a 5-year certification and it requires 60 CEUs. Now, what are CEUs? CEUs are continuing education units. Okay, these are credits that you have to earn to keep your certification active. So let's just say you go to pay your recertification fee and you can't because you didn't do any of your CEUs. You have to do the CEUs to keep your certification active. And this shows, them that you are continuing your education around the certification that you have. Okay. Now there's different ways to get CEUs. You can attend events, medical assistant conferences. Like for an example, at the time of this video, it is March 29th, 2024 that I'm recording this video, and we have a medical assistant conference coming up on April 6th. Now, at that conference, every medical assistant who attends that is certified, they will earn CEUs for each session that they sit through. Okay. Other ways you can earn is when you recertify for your CPR certification, your BLS, you will get CEUs that way. And then there are ways you can get them online by watching certain videos and then answering questions. So there's so many different ways to earn CEUs. Okay. Now, this credential type covers both clinical and administrative medical assistant. Now, let's talk about a little bit of the requirements. So, you got to be a graduate of an accredited school, okay, meaning like KHAP or ABHAS accredited school, okay, MA programs specifically. And then there's other pathways that you can find on the AAMA website, and you'll see that down here. So each slide I'm giving you guys the website. Everything that I'm giving you guys, you can easily find on the website. Me doing it this way, it just kind of sums it up for you, but there's so much more information. Each of these websites, they have a handbook on the certification. So you can also go to the website and download the handbook. Okay. Now, you cannot be guilty of a felony if you are wanting to get this certification, or you cannot have had any licensure or certifications revoked or suspended. Now, they do point out on the website that if you happen to have a felony, they may take into account what type of felony it is. Okay. So you can go on the website for more information. The test has 200 questions and you must score at least a 430 to pass it. Perfect score is an 800. Okay. Study material is available on the website. Now, this exam costs 125 for recent graduates. So if you just graduated from school, from an accredited school, is going to be 125 for you. Okay. If you are a member of the American Association of Medical Assistants, it's 125 for you, whether you are a recent graduate or non-recent graduate. Okay. If you are a non-recent graduate and you're not a member of the American Association of Medical Assistants, it's 250. All right. Now, this test you can only take 3 times. If you don't pass it, you can take it up to 2 more times. But if you don't pass that 3rd time, you cannot take it again unless you do the program all over or you do another medical assistant program. Okay. Now let's talk about the RMA, Registered Medical Assistant. This is offered by AMT, American Medical Technologies. That's the certifying body for that. 3-year certification. Okay. So we saw that the CMA was 5 years, the RMA is 3 years, requires 30 CEUs. All right. And this credential type is clinical and administrative medical assistant. So you'll see both clinical and administrative questions on the test. You must have graduated from an accredited program. All right. Or a graduate of a medical services program of the armed forces. Now, other ways that you can be eligible for this test, if you've been working as an MA full-time for 3 years within the past 7 years, you can take the test. And you must have been doing clinical and administrative work. Okay, so it can't be only one or the other. Or you could have been a medical assistant instructor for 5 years. So let's say you finished school, and this is a prime example of someone like me. So I went to school. I finished medical assistant school back in 2004, December 2004, and became a medical assistant right away when I got hired on my externship. And I got certified, but I was at the time I was 19, I was young. I didn't keep up with my certification, but I kept a job. So years and years went by. I was not certified. I was able to get an instructor job because of my experience. And so if anyone is wondering how you can, not be certified and be an instructor, it's because, like myself, I had the experience, but I just didn't keep up with my certification being so young. And then years later, I want to say maybe in 2018. Yes. So from 2000, yeah, actually, it was 2018 that I actually had to get certified again, because then it was required at the school that I was teaching at. So that's one of the ways, 5 years of experience as a medical assistant. And you do have to show documentation, guys. You do have to show your transcripts from your school and documented work experience. So you can't just go to them and say, yeah, I've been working here, and I went to this school. You have to show documentation. And similar to the CMA, certain felonies may make you ineligible to obtain the certification. Again, this is something you can get on their website. Okay. On this test, there are 210 questions. All right. Perfect score is 100, and you need at least a 70 to pass. This exam costs 150. Now, this price did recently increase. I think it was recent. I can't remember what it was. I think it was about 130, but it recently increased to 150. Recertification is $280, and you pay this every 3 years. Okay. So it's not like you have to pay this every year. It's $280 every 3 years. Okay. And then if you fail, you have to wait 45 days to take it again. And this test you can take up to 4 times, and then you can't take it again. So similar to CMA, you only get a certain amount of times. With CMA, you got 3 times. With RMA, you do get 4 times. Okay. And then if you don't pass it that time, then you need to, do another program. And I don't actually, with RMA, once you take it that fourth time, you have to actually, like, that's it. You just get 4 times in a lifetime to be able to take it. All right, so CCMA, offered by NHA, that certifying body is National Health Career Association. 2-year certification requires 10 CEUs. This credential type is clinical medical assistant, although there are some administrative questions on the test. Okay, it's not all clinical. There are some clinical administrative questions on the test. Okay, you must have completed an MA program. Now, notice that with this one, it doesn't necessarily have to be accredited. Okay. Now, the school does need to be licensed with the state, though. Okay. So it could either be accredited with a major accrediting body, or licensed with the state. Okay. Or have graduated a military program in the last 5 years. Or you must have 1 year of medical assistant experience. So with this certification, let's say you've been working as a medical assistant. You got a job doing medical assistant work, even though you didn't go to school, but you've been working at least a year, which I've had people, that I do one-on-one sessions, and I've had people come to me, and this was their situation. They never went to school, but they have the experience. I've had one girl, she has like almost 20 years of experience. And this was because, she started fresh out of high school, and she had been working. They just trained her. And so now she needs to be certified. Now, on this test, there are 180 questions. You need at least a 390 out of 500 to pass. This exam recently went up. It is $160, and the renewal fee every 2 years is $185. If you don't fail this test, you have to wait 30 days to take it again. Okay. Now this one you can take up to third time, up to 3 times within a year. I'm sorry, not 3 times within a year, but you can take it up to 3 times, and then you have to wait a year if you fail the third time. Now this one, from what I can tell, does not have a cap. You know how with the CMA you can't take it more than 3 times. The RMA you can't take it more than 4 times. This one I did not see any type of information about a cap. I'm not saying that there's not one, but from my research, I did not see a cap. I just know that after that third time, you have to wait a year to take it again. But again, you can always go to their website and download the handbook, okay? And it'll give you more information. Now, the CMAA is completely administrative test. Okay, that's a certified medical administrative test. Must have completed an MA program, right? So the eligibility is the same as the CCMA. This test only has 130 questions, and you need a 390 out of 500. This exam costs 125, and the renewal fee is 185. And one thing I will point out too about the CMAA and CCMA, notice that they are given by the National Health Career Association. The thing about them, if you have multiple certifications with NHA, let's say you are certified, you have CMAA and CCMA, your renewal fees, you're not going to have to pay 185 each. It's like they give you a discount for having multiple certifications, so you don't have to pay 185 each. You can look at NHA if you have these multiple certifications and see how much you have to pay, but you don't have to pay the 185 per certification. Okay. And just like the CCMA, you have to wait 30 days to take it again. If you fail the third time, you have to wait a year to take it. Okay. So as you can see, this is also a 2-year certification. And as you can see, each of the certifications, they're all medical assistant certifications, right? This is the administrative certification. So you're still a medical assistant, but you're on the administrative side. Okay. So hopefully this has been helpful. I'm going to answer just a few frequently asked questions that I get a lot. Okay. Now, what is the difference between a certificate and certification? Okay, guys, when you finish your medical assistant program, you get a certificate of completion or a diploma. Okay. That just means you finished the program. You are a medical assistant. Okay. If you complete the program and everything that was required, whether it's externship or, just completing the modules or whatever, you are a medical assistant and you will receive a certificate of completion or a diploma. Okay. Certification is everything that I just went through. Those are the certification. Those are the exams, okay, that you take to get certified in your in medical assistant. Okay. Does it matter which certification I obtain? Now, generally, no. Okay. Most places, most employers, they just want you to be certified. Most places, they don't care if you are a, CMA, RMA, or CCMA. Generally, okay. Now, there are some places that will prefer one over the other. Okay. There's some places that's going to prefer the RMA. They may prefer the CMA. You know what I mean? Now, I've never seen anywhere that prefers the CCMA, but as long as you are certified, you are good. And you can always, call the employer just to double check. I've had people ask me, I'm looking online, I'm looking for a job, and I see that they're specifically asking for CMA. You want to ask them, because what I've realized is that most people, when they say certified medical assistant CMA, they're not just referring to the actual certification. They're just referring to wanting a certified medical assistant. Okay. And they usually don't care if it's the RMA, the CMA, or the CCMA. So always double check with them. Okay. Now, for the test, what areas do I need to study? What do I need to study? Everything. Let me tell you guys, and I'm going to link the test plans down below. If you download the test plan for the test you are taking, it's going to show you everything you need to know for the test. And one of the things that I recommend is looking at your test plan and use it kind of like a checklist. Okay. look at the test plan and say, you know what? Okay, one part of the test plan says I need to make sure I know the 5 schedules of drugs, right? And some of the medications that are within each schedule, right? All right. So if you know that, check it off. You know that. If you don't, you know you need to go make sure you get the study guide and study that, right? So you really need to study everything. Each of those certifications, they all have a practice test. They all have actually a set of practice tests that you can buy, and then they have study guides. Online study guides is what I recommend, because they have modules you go through, and then there are practice quizzes within the modules. Okay, so I recommend going through the modules, each one, take a day going through each of the modules, right? And then take the quizzes within those modules, and then you start taking your practice tests. Every time you take a practice test, you look at your weak areas. They'll show you your weak areas, and then you go back to the study guide, revisit your weak areas, and then you take another practice test. Okay, so that's the way you want to study. And then you'll see more tips on the study checklist that I'm including in the description of this video. Are there math questions? Just a few. The most you need to know as a medical assistant are your conversions, like how to convert pounds to kilograms and vice versa, centimeters to inches and vice versa, and a little bit of dosage calculations, right? You need to be able to calculate dosages if your provider gives you an order, right? And I have several videos on dosage calculations, on the conversions that you need to know for the test. And no matter which test you're taking, a lot of the foundational information is still the same. So those dosage calculation videos, they apply to any of the certifications you're taking, the conversion videos as well. Do I need to get certified in multiple states? Absolutely not. It is not a license. We are not nurses, okay? Licensure requires to get licensed in multiple states. There are certain ways that nurses can get licensed in different states, or if you're a CNA, you have to get licensed in the state you want to work in. But when it comes to certification, it is national. Okay, so you don't have to get certified in multiple states. All right. What happens if my certification expired? Now, I get this question a lot. Now, this is one of those things that you want to go to the website for, because it depends. If it hasn't been that long, if it just expired, all you need to do is just go make sure you get your CEUs and just go ahead and recertify, right? If a certain amount of time has expired, and with each test, the amount of time is different, you will have to take the test over again. That's the only time you have to retake the test, because some people ask, and I should have included this in this FAQ section. Some people, they always ask, do I need to retake the test to recertify? You don't. The only time you take the test again is if you have let your certification expire past the grace period that the certification allows. Okay. So I hope that this was helpful. Again, I will link my study tips below. I will also link the test plan for each certification. Make sure you download it and use it as a checklist. Okay. And let me know, guys, in the chat if you have any questions, if you have any video requests. Let me know. Please like this video if it was helpful to you, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Also, guys, I mentioned that I do one-on-one sessions. If you happen to need a one-on-one session with me, feel free to go to bookwithmissk.com. I do one-on-one sessions for people who are in school and just need some tutoring. If you are about to take your test and you need help with getting prepared, if you failed the test and you need a one-on-one session for that, resumes, I help with that. Also, from time to time, I've been doing these group study sessions that just started this year. Someone requested it and I've been doing them. So you can go to bookwithmissk.com and see if I have any coming up at the time that you are watching this video. All right. Also, if you happen to be a medical assistant and you are wanting to maybe start a business or a side hustle and you need some help with that, I do help with that as well, because as I've mentioned several times before on this channel, not only am I a medical assistant instructor, but I have several businesses and I help other people with their business as well. All right. Thank you for visiting my channel. You all have a blessed day.